Today I'm going to walk you through a stretch that I do every day. Sometimes I change it up a little bit depending on what I feel is a little bit tight or what I need, but I try to always do some sort of stretching for my entire body mixed with static and dynamic stretching every single day. So I start out on my mat on my back. I'm using a yoga strap, but you could use anything, a towel, a belt, anything you've got. So I start with some dynamic hamstring stretches, and then I like to hold it. And it's best to hold each stretch if you want to change the muscle for at least 30 seconds. Open it up. Take it across the body. Scoot out a little here. You'll feel it all nicely on the outside. Come back up, hold it again, and switch sides. Do about 8 of these, 8 to 10, something like that. Just kind of get the muscle moving, warming it up. Open that up to the side. Now, it doesn't matter how far you go, how far up your leg is. You just want to be able to feel that nice stretch without overstretching it, because you don't want to pull a muscle. And you'll feel the longer you hold it, you will find that you'll feel your muscle kind of relax a little bit. And then at that point, if you want, you could go a little bit further, but never force it. Come across the body. I like to look away. And then come back to center. You can set that strap aside. Next up is what they call in yoga, happy baby. Hold on to your feet if you can. If you can't hold your feet, you can hold on to your shins here. And I like to think about pressing my tailbone to the ground. So really our goal here is to open up the hips. You could rock to side if that feels good, or just stay in the middle here. Release. Cross one ankle over one knee for the figure 4 stretch, and pull that in, as well as press this out at the same time. I'm using my elbow to do so. So you're getting that nice stretch in the outer thigh here. Release and switch sides. So left ankle over the right knee, pulling that knee in, pushing that right knee out, so you can feel that stretch in the outer thigh. And release. And however you can, roll up, flip over. I like to do another hip stretch next to open up my hips. So however far down you can come, this kind of just gets that inner hip area. For me, I broke my pelvis in several places, so this is just a great way for me to stretch and keep everything moving. Next, we're going to move into downward dog. So I like to start by walking it out in downward dog. And then getting that nice calf stretch. Walking your feet forward into a forward fold. You can start with your knees bent. Bend and straighten them. And then hold here. If you can't touch the ground, that's okay. You can hold on to your calves. Sometimes I even like to just fold my arms and hang because that feels good. So just whatever feels good to you today. Mix it up. And make sure you're breathing. You never want to hold your breath when you're stretching. Breathe through all of those muscles. If you can't breathe, you're pushing the stretch too far. Bend your knees and come into a squat. So I like this because it gets the back of the calf, that Achilles area. Another thing, again, that I personally struggle with is my lower calf and my ankle. So I like to make sure I am opening all of that up. Hold this. I'll even do some dynamic ones where I'm supporting myself with my hands, but I'm coming very gently back and forth, touching my knees, coming back, touching your heels to the ground if you can. A lot of people are really tight in this area. Just a great way to open it all up. Okay, so we've done a lot of leg stretching here. I'm going to do something that's going to stretch the upper body. So come on to all fours. Take your right hand and thread it like a needle through and rest that right shoulder on the ground and you will feel an upper body stretch. Now, if you can notice, my right leg is not parallel like it was anymore. It's naturally kind of come in as I've done this. So if you open that back up, if you can, you'll feel a little bit deeper of a stretch. But again, do what feels comfortable for you. Just a great stretch all across the back. I love this one. Come back up and switch sides. Come up. And then I work at a computer all day long, like a lot of people do, so I always make sure I stretch out my wrist. So first I start with the fingers pointing towards me, and the goal is to try to get the palms flat on the ground if you can. Again, work yourself up, don't overdo it. And then I like to make sure I get all of the fingers really stretching as well. So I'm lifting my palms off the ground here. Maybe I'll face this way. Lifting my palms off the ground here, but my fingers are still touching. so that now you can feel a little bit of stretch in the bottom of the palm and in all of your fingers as well, except for the thumbs. We'll do those next. And I take my thumbs and I press them into the ground to get a nice thumb stretch too. I notice if I'm sitting at the computer working with a mouse for too long. That is definitely something that bothers me. Okay, and then the last thing, we'll do some neck stretches. So come sit, however feels comfortable, cross-legged, legs out in front of you, whatever's most comfortable for you is fine. And let's tilt our head to the right. I like to put my arms out to the side, just lightly touch the fingertips towards the ground so that you can feel that nice stretch all the way down. And then turn and look towards that right hand. Turn your head back to center and gently come back up. And let's go over to the left side. You always want to do these movements very slowly. Otherwise, you might sometimes experience some dizziness if you move it too fast. And look at your left hand now. Turn back to the side and come up. You can gently roll your neck down. I like to put my hands out in front of me and just try to focus on rolling one vertebrae at a time. Just opening up that cervical spine. When you get down, your chin down, you can kind of just move your hands side to side like this. Just kind of feel everything open up. It's all nice and gentle. We opened up our legs, our hips, our upper back, our necks. It's just a quick little stretch that I love to do on a daily basis. And then if I need anything extra, I can add on as well. But that's kind of where I start. Thanks for following along. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and press that like button.